award-winning chef, restaurateur, TV personality, and author of 14 best-selling cookbooks, including his latest, Farm to Fork, Emeril Lagasse is always cooking up something new. He's here at the Good Housekeeping Test Kitchens with a delicious dish to help you peel years off.
Emeril, welcome to Good Housekeeping.
Delighted to be here. Good to see you.
Here.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to have a busy day, right?
It's going to be a great day.
Well, what's great about this is we're looking at foods that are incredibly healthy for you, which has been a mantra of yours for a long time. Cook local, cook healthy.
Yep.
And in fact, is what your newest cookbook is all about.
Farm to Fork.
Your 14th cookbook?
You know, Farm to Fork, Rosemary, I got to tell you, is an inspiration. You know, as a boy, I grew up on a farm in Massachusetts, and from feeding the hogs to milking the goats to you know, picking strawberries and produce, etc. As my style began to evolve, I began to realize that I had this connection to the soil, and that connection started as a young boy. And so with Farm to Fork, I wanted to put that in words, how important it is to cook local, cook fresh. It does so much for the world. It does so much for the environment.
And you're going to teach us today. And these are particularly anti-aging foods, right?
Well, you know, you have all these omega-3s, particularly in this white snaky fish like halibut.
Right, cold water fish.
Cold water, beautiful fresh herbs. We've got lemon zest. And if people use zest, whether it's orange, lemon, grapefruit, they can get a lot of flavor that's really natural and good for you.
Right.
A little bit of dill, fresh parsley. We're going to use a little salt and pepper, of course, and Dijon mustard. We're going to begin by taking the mustard and really sort of brush the sides and the top.
Just give it a bath.
Just give it a bath with mustard. This is going to really make the herbs adhere to the fish.
So mustard as glue is what we're talking about.
Exactly. Right? And if you have sides exposed, like we have a little bit of ours, then don't be bashful. Just go ahead and do that. So we let that sit like that. We're going to take a little bit of salt, preferably like a sea salt. You could use kosher salt, a little bit of pepper as well.
Right.
And now what we're going to do is we're going to sort of make this crust.
Okay.
So we're going to take lemon zest.
Oh, it is so fragrant.
We're going to take dill. Now, remember, dill goes a long way. So, you know, you want to have equal parts at least, if not more, of the parsley.
A little more parsley, but I've got to say, halibut, dill, and lemon zest. It's a fabulous combination.
I mean, come on, look at this, and look how healthy this is.
It's beautiful.
So what I like to do is also put a little bit of the pepper in here. And then basically, Rosemary, what we're going to do is we're going to take, and we're just going to crust the fish like such.
Just on the top, so you just give it a hat.
Top and the sides.
Yeah.
We're going to serve this on a bed of some organic arugula. Arugula is one that particularly goes great with this because you're going to have a little bit of that sharpness, a little bit of that bitterness from the arugula.
And halibut is a pretty mild fish. I mean, it's
very mild fish.
It's
and
delicious.
you know, you bring up an amazing point because people, you know, some people that I talk to, they're like turned off about fish because it smells. Well, fish should not have any odor. So trust your fishmonger or your supermarket person who's selling you that.
And if it smells, then you know maybe it's not so fresh.
If it smells, then go for the lamb. That's what I say.
Good.
All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to a little bit of oil in the pan.
Now, how hot is the pan?
This is like a medium-high heat, and then what we're going to do is we're going to begin to start the crusting process.
Yeah, so it doesn't sizzle when you put her down. It's
no,
not
you don't.
That
it's
hot.
not. It's not about you know.
This is not flash
searing.
frying.
No.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, this side of the fish is not seasoned, so we're going to add just a tiny bit of salt on that, and we're just going to let it go. The heat's on like medium-high heat,
right?
And now we're just going to let it go.
Okay.
While that's happening, I have some low-sodium chicken broth. You can do homemade, preferably. If not, then buy the low-sodium type would be my recommendation.
Right.
And then what we're going to use, Rosemary, is a wonderful super grain. This is a superfood. It's quinoa.
This is quinoa, right? It looks a lot like couscous, but it has sort of a nuttier flavor. It's really delicious.
It does have a very, very nutty flavor as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to take
put it right
almost equal parts of the quinoa, about 2/3 of the broth to 1/3 of the quinoa.
Okay.
Just like you're making like rice.
Like rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of salt to, right now, just a little bit in the cooking process. We'll come back. We want to cover it, okay? And now we're going to turn the heat up on this as well.
Low to medium
It's going to
heat.
take about, it's going to take about 15 to 18 minutes to cook this. Now, we've got some pecans that we're going to just lightly roast and a little bit of chopped parsley. Now we're going to come back to our fish.
Okay, so this has been on for like, what, 2-3 minutes so far?
But you see, you can see almost halibut, like salmon. You see it sort of has this sort of built-in thermometer. See how it's changing
It's getting,
color?
yeah, it's solid white at the bottom and it's still
That's
translucent
a
in the
good
middle.
thing. You see how it's doing that?
Right.
And then what we want to do is we're getting this wonderful crust of the herbs. And what we're going to do is in about another 2-3 minutes on the side, and we're going to turn it over.
So 12 minutes max. You're talking
Max.
4 minutes on each
More
side.
like 10. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to turn this.
Beautiful.
Keep that beautiful crust on.
And it is beginning to smell so
Look
good.
at that.
Perfect.
And that's what I was saying about how the herbs, and you see how they just get that the parsley and the dill are great for this preparation because they can really take the heat right now. Okay, so now the fish is ready.
They're about done.
8 to 10 minutes. Our quinoa
It's done.
is done. To that now, when it's done, we're going to add a little fresh parsley, a nice bit of salt, and then the pecans that I...
You can take the boy out of Louisiana,
Yeah,
but you
no.
can't take the pecans out of his kitchen.
Exactly right. Now I'm just going to fold this over, and you'll see that quinoa fluffs just like couscous, just like any other grain.
This is pretty.
So we're just going to let this stay warm
Yum.
while we fold that in. The last thing that we're going to do, Rosemary, is we're going to just hit this with just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil because I like the two nuttiness. I love the olive nuttiness and then the quinoa. The fish is done.
The fish is perfect.
Now, if you will, I have some arugula here. We're going to salt, some tongs, some
Little
extra virgin olive oil, just a little tiny bit.
Okay.
We don't want to drown it. We just want to coat the leaves. It's the same thing that I'm going to do
Great.
with the quinoa.
Then put a little on the plate. Now,
then
does
we'll
the fish
put-
go on top of this or
No, what
beside
we're going to
it?
do is this. Either or. What I like to do sometimes is I'll take the quinoa and I'll add a little bit of the quinoa. Remember, you have a lot of vitamins, amino acids, because of it
Protein.
being a super grain. And then what I'll generally do is just make a little pile of the arugula.
The salad on
right
top.
in the center, yep.
Okay. There we
Perfect. And then talk about how delicious and healthy. See, the fish is perfectly also brown on the other side.
Beautiful.
So I just sort of just do a little bit of that. So now comes the best part.
I get to eat it. All right, so I'm going to cut a piece off the end of the fish. Beautiful.
Look at that.
Perfect.
You see the crust, a little bit of the mustard.
All right. Is this cool enough now to eat?
Absolutely. What a combination, huh?
Fabulous. It's really good. It is really,
so healthy for
really delicious. Yes, I can feel myself growing younger by the minute as I eat this fish. Thank you so much.
My
This
pleasure.
is delicious.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful to have you here.
Thank you for having me, and I hopefully your viewers will love this dish as
I
well.
am sure we will all love this dish, and we hope you'll come again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.